Hello profit takers, it's Victoria here and we are back with another video. So today guys, we're going to look at the signals from the profit takers alert dashboard in Trade Manager. And today we're focusing on the 2 low of week, high of week, which is also known as 2 peak formation, right? So it's literally 2 days away from the peak or from the peak, as I like to also count as, from the peak, because that's how we get our day 3. So now this template, guys, I'm going to show you 2 different scenarios on when you're seeing these types of signals, because it could be a day 3 continuation, right? Or it could be a reversal. So we're going to look at both of those, guys. And these things do occur all the time. So it's just a matter of discernment, right? And you have to look at what price is doing. I like to use the major areas, right? We have our major levels, the previous day highs and lows, the weekly, monthly, daily levels, guys. Those are very important. As you can see some of these marks here on this chart here. And that's another thing that we're going to be adding to the indicator, guys, is our weekly levels. That way you can always know where if price gets to these levels, then you might want to think about it. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. All right. So we want to ask ourselves, right? Day 3, which is the 3rd day, right? We're looking for the second previous day break in structure, right? Typically that's what we're looking for. And I'm also going to look and see, did price put in a high or low for that day? Did it touch any of the major levels on day 2, the day prior? Because if day 2, if it didn't touch any of the major levels and it just ranged through it, then you could possibly have the continuation trend on day 3 that did not happen on day 2. Okay, so that's basically what that is. And also, like I said, you can also see that day 3 can be a reversal, but you will visibly be able to see the M or W multi-session patterns. All right. So this slide, guys, will be available to everybody. As I'm going through this, if I notice any errors, I'll make sure I update that before, make it available to everybody. Okay, so we got and this is the pound CAD. So this was Thursday. This is Friday. Okay. You see the dates here. So on December 13th, right, this was a Wednesday, price did put in a low, right? Hit the low of the week. And so we got the signal for the 2, it was a 1 peak formation, right? So basically when we came to trade on Thursday, this was now showing a 1 low of week, meaning we're looking to trade long. We're looking for the trend trade, right? Which did occur. We got the trend trade for Thursday. Beautiful. Prices did a retest here to this area, and then you can see the W multi-session pattern that created, and then we can see how price broke the previous day high, and that also, anytime price is breaking highs, we're going into a long trend and respecting lows. Remember, that has to respect the lows. Okay, so we're going long. Okay, so day 3 comes in. All right. And guess what happened? By the time I'm getting here, guys, price did not, that second break, right, to take out this high did not happen. So it was a fail. So this is now a 3-day reversal trade. Okay, on day 3, it's a 3-day reversal trade because it failed to break that second high. And you can also see a visible, descending in pattern. I mean, this is just so clear to see. Okay. And that's why this one would be a day 3 reversal pattern. All right, we have Aussie. So Aussie, what happened here? Okay, this is Wednesday, so this was Tuesday. Tuesday, we got a peak formation high and low. As you can see, price hit the major levels, right? And then we got a reset, right? So this was going to be our original day 1 or day 0, whatever you want to call it. And then we hit the ground again and we reset to the low, right? So I always like to count those days that we reset. So that's 1. We took out that high. Okay. Thursday, we continue to take out the highs. All right. And that was our second one. Okay. And okay, like remember, this is a reset. So I'm counting this day. So come on Thursday, we took out the high. So Friday, I'm looking to see here, Okay, we have now equal highs and, pretty much equal highs or equal lows are like retail resistance, right? Or support. And so here we're looking at a reversal, right? We can see you actually getting them both, a reversal and a continuation at the same time. So you're able to take this trade short from this high, right? We had an attempt to take it out, it didn't go. Another attempt, it didn't go. So this was obviously a great trade to take. I believe this was probably right before the open, okay, for New York. You can take that. So then we get support. So we have our line drawn here. So you don't want to try and hold this trade short, right? We always want to use our most recent major levels to take our profits from, because at any given day, it could possibly reverse, right? Because we're still looking for it to take out the previous day's high, right? If it's going to continue. But it did not happen. We got that short reversal trade. And then we're able to take it long back up to yesterday's high. So if you took that long, that was your target right there. That was great. Two types of trades to take. So that was it. Now, this can happen where it's not really a beautiful, long trade, right? But just want you to show you that you can have, and then again, you can see here this M pattern, right? That did occur for the 3-day reversal, okay? Now we're looking at UJ. Okay. So this one we had another reset to the high. So again, with the reset, I count that day, right? So that's the first day of the previous day break. We're breaking our lows, respecting our highs. Day 2, which was Thursday, again, beautiful. It broke that low, but it only gave us, only Asia was able to really take advantage of this particular trade. So day 3, this was a fail all day everywhere because it didn't touch any levels. There was nowhere to take a short trade from or a high trade from. It was just still within the trading range. And, some people like to scalp these type of trades, but not me. I don't really care for it. So this is a good example of what a day 3 range could just look like when nothing really is happening on these major levels. And we really want to be able to execute trades from the major levels. All right, looking at gold. So gold hit the ground 3 times, guys. And this is a very good example of 3 times to the low. We had it hit here. So this must have been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yep. So Monday, Tuesday it didn't quite hit, but it got pretty close. Wednesday, we hit that low again, and then it retested again, right? So that's why I have it 3 times to the low here. And again, we're counting this day as one previous day high break. Thursday was the second break of the previous day high. And then we had our reversal trade here where the third previous day high break to the up failed. Okay. And we can also see where we had our peak high here, and price it got kind of close to yesterday's high to try and break it, but it did not do that. And this was a beautiful trade. I did take this trade. Right, I got it here on this after the retracement from the first push down. I waited for the retracement and got back in on there. Okay. I hope you guys are seeing the differences here. So we have GU. All right. So again, we have where we had a reset, and you see I have day 1 and then day 1 again with the reset to the low. So here's where we count our 1 and our 2. Okay. And so now we're looking at day 3. We've completed those, right? We're looking for this thing we see the M pattern, number 1, right? We see that prices never really took out the previous day. So we did not get that at that moment. And then we were able to take this short. This trade came in early in the session. So I was only able to get the low hanging fruit trade here, which was around 30 some odd pips for the New York area. And there was news, so I was being a little bit cautious with the news as well. Okay. GJ. We had a reset right here. We had day 1, day 2, and day 3. So this one for day 2, when I mentioned earlier, you want to look and see what happened on day 2. And if day 2 didn't touch any major levels or break, break the low or would not, then we just going to expect that this trade is going to occur on day 3, which it did. We had a nice trend trade on day 3. And so, I'm showing you this as a completed, right? This is usually, I would like to show it to you with the 2 high of week. But I wasn't, by the time I grabbed this screenshot, guys, that I had already changed over to the next day. So I just want you to pretend this is 2 high of week. And we came in here with the continuation trade, right? Because price did not do a thing on day 2. All right. So day 3, we continued, and that's what we're looking at, the day 3 move, which was the continuation since nothing happened on day 2. Dollar CAD. Now this one, beautiful, beautiful. Again, we have our break to the high, which it failed, and you can see how price hit both levels. We like to see that. So now we are breaking down day 2. We're waiting for the trend trade. Okay. Now this thing happened. We got our first push going down to the low. We get to the low, guys. What do? We wait for the retracement, and then we get in, and this came in late for New York. I didn't take this one at all for that day, but I did on the next day. Okay, so the next day I got in actually that evening, because you know how the chime changes over like at 5 Eastern time. So I was able to hop into this trade in the Asian session, around 6 or 7 o'clock or so that evening. All right, so day 3 was a continuation, as you can see here. Okay. All right, this day 3, another continuation. We can see here, price got to the high and failed breaking out that high. We get into day 2 where we are expecting the trend trade, which it did happen. It broke through the level, and then we were able to get in. Again, this was one of those Aussie Swiss trades. I thought this was a beautiful pattern. I've seen this pattern on a whole bunch of different instruments, right? I don't normally trade this particular pair, but I wanted to grab this particular pattern because you're going to see this a lot. It's not about the instrument, guys. It's about the pattern. So that's why this one's here. Okay. Because clearly I'm not trading Asia. This one was not available for me at that time, or London here. As we can see, this was a beautiful London trade, although I probably could have got in on it in New York, but it wasn't anything that I was looking to trade, but I just happened to see this one. So when I'm looking at the 2 high of week trades, if it's a particular Asia pair, sometimes that trade's played out for me, but this one, for whatever reason, it worked out really great. And I wanted you to see how day 3, we had our 2 previous day breaks, and we were expecting the continuation, and we got it. And this is our last slide, guys. We are looking at the Euro Aussie, another one of my favorite pairs. As you can see here, we had a failed breakout to the low. Okay. Then we had our day 1. So we had our breakout, our first breakout. Day 2 gave us a trend trade, which played out pretty early in the session. Okay. Second breakout. So we already got our first 2 breakouts here pretty early. So now we're looking at, okay, is this thing going to continue? Are we going to, is prices, you want to ask yourself, where is price at? Is it the low, at the high? Forgot to repeat that on the other slides, but nonetheless, we can see here price made a low of the day, and now we're looking to get that third breakout. So once we get that third breakout on day 3, we now have our 3 days of breakout pattern. Okay. It's always great if, you also see it 380R, but you're not always going to get the 380R. Sometimes price doesn't give it to us. Okay. But sometimes they do. But once we see the 3 days of breakout patterns complete, so day 4 and day 5, price could start to consolidate at the high or the low, and then break out in the reversal, right? So this is setting up for the next trade setup, if that makes sense. I have a lot of slides on the 3 days of breakouts. Those are all available in the locals, and I encourage you to be a part of it. Joining locals is absolutely free, guys. To some of the local specific content is for the supporters, which is only $5, right? If you got 5 on it, come on and join. If you want to be a part and be a Profit Takers Alert subscriber, then locals is free. Okay. So what do we do in locals? I mean, I will go in there every morning and post trade setups, and I will open up a live chat for you all. Let me see if I can bring one over here so you can see. Give me 1 second. Excuse me, guys, allergies. So it will look just like this. I will post every single day. I'll put my take on some of the trades that I'm thinking that are going to do this or that. But I never say it has to do this or that, okay? It's all about what is price showing us, and we respond according to that. So anytime I put in here, okay, this is what we need price to do. Yeah, we would love it for if it's a high of week trade, if we're 3 days from the high and it's day 4 and it's max 4 ADR, then it's probably going to range a little bit at the low before we finally get a break. So that's what I'm looking for on the dollar CAD, right? We're still looking for this thing to break structure to continue on long. If it doesn't do that, then we know that it's going to reverse and it's going to reset back low, right, to the, you know, the bear cycle. So we always want to make sure that we have those two things in mind. It can either go one way or the other, or it can just range, right? And that's literally what happened on UCAD on Friday. It just ranged pretty much. And so, you know, it wasn't, I have my my trade set up for it to break. Where is my, oh, here it is. I have it set so it can break. Once it breaks through this area to continue up, I mean, that's where I have it set right now, because we have the 3 days of breakout lows completed. So it's going to range, W, boom, it's going to go up. When is that going to happen? Not sure. Hopefully in Monday when the new session happens. Okay. So this area, guys, we have locals only content, and then we just have content for all the members that are in here. So I encourage you to be a part of it and join the community. All right. So that's all I have for now. Last but not least, we can look at the profit takers alert dashboard, right? And the trade setups that I'm talking about. All right. So I have these categories here with the two, as you can see here, I'm clicking on gold. We have 2 low of week, right? Basically the 3-day trade setup that happened this week. There's some things in terms of charting that I would love for you all to incorporate. And it's also going to be something we're going to, like I was mentioning earlier, we're going to be adding it to the indicator where you can select to put the major lines on your chart. Okay. I think it's very important. So you don't have to, come here and draw it. Like, for example, this is Monday. So we want to draw out the level, right? The opening for the week. And then this is, obviously this is the high, open range, low of the range. Okay. Tuesday, nothing happened here, right? Still nothing to do. Like we hit the low here, 1, and then here, nothing. It's got really close, right? And then Wednesday, we finally hit the low once again, our second time. And then when it did the retest, I counted that here because it got pretty close to come back to the low. So I just, made it like a 3 low of a week tap. So anytime that happens, it's game over. Okay. You could enter this market, right at this break. We're on H1. So let me go down to H. Let's go to Wednesday. There we go. You could enter the market after here. That could be your entry right there. A second entry could be right here at yesterday's high, which is basically letting us know that we're breaking the highs. And then that's it, right? You could take all your profits at this area. And guess what this area was? This was Monday's high. Let me see if this is... Yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything. So from here to there, it's like 203 pips on a Wednesday. You could not have to trade the rest of the week. All right. Another thing I want you to notice, price, when they do these giant bars, 3 of them at least, right? Sometimes you'll see 4. That's also an indication that price is going to reverse. And it did just that. And you'll notice that we didn't even finish the ADR. So my guess is it could also come back down to this area. It could continue to break down, or we can get a reset and it can continue to go on up and go continue long, right? Not really sure what's going to happen, but we're going to wait and see. I'm going to take a quick peek of the higher time frame. All right, so what does this tell me on H4? That we are in a bullish area. We're just in the area of the retracement for the higher time frame. So I absolutely believe now that I'm looking at this, that we could get back down to this low here and then continue on up, because this is just the retracement. It's nothing that's going to be holding up. But again, we're going to wait and see. I don't know, right? I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to be prepared for whichever way it wants to go. Okay. So I hope that made sense to you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the chats and the PTAT subscriber or locals community, guys. And we'll see you especially in the next video. Have a great weekend. Ciao for now.